Yes.
In this tutorial we're going to be making this sound here, which is called Noise Killer. I'll just make sure that bar disappears. So you can hear the first part of that rhythm is kind of taken from the Skrillex track Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites. I'm just going to move this up so that it's moved out of the way anyway, but there we go. Yeah, this is the one on where we've got another tutorial on how to bring out the vocal elements further with external effects. So pay attention to how this patch is made, and this is the patch that's used in the demo Ableton track with the external effects on it. But it sounds good out of the synth just on its own. And it's really very simple to make. We've got some changes programmed in here. Oh, before I start, this Noise Killer is part of a pack of kind of 6 of these style ones. This is the second one. So you can get quite a lot of sounds out of that one. I quite like this one as well. Kind of a cool rhythm to that one. That's like a real messy, nasty. Got some cool sounds in there. That's more of a droppy sort of sound. I do quite a lot with that sound. It's probably best to sort of spend some time tweaking that. Anyway, that's fairly cool. And then this one. It's got a really cool kind of feedbacky growl, a bit used in like Zed's Dead and things like that. So it's just really those nasty kind of sounds. So I've called it Noise Killer, and this is the one we're making. So the way that's done is basically we're using a performer, and you can see that's controlling this bandpass filter and this band reject. As I've discussed so many times in the other sort of things, those two together overlapping in terms of how the LFO works, or in this case a performer works, is kind of giving you that kind of vocal shape that you need in your EQ and your filtering. The cut-offs are going both ways. I haven't done anything to the EQ on this one. It wasn't necessary, but it could be done. We've got 2 distortion units and a dimension expander, and basically we've got a widen here for the dimension expander and also for the pan position, and then we've got a distort set to here and here. So that's them 2 taken care of. Throat in one is bringing this sound in. This sound actually this oscillator here is, you'll notice it's pitched up 1 octave. That comes in also really slowly of its own accord, but you can bring it in quicker with this one here. Change 1 here is just changing the wavetable position on these 2 to give you a different sound. Let's have a listen. So that's kind of cool, sort of fairly obvious change there. Throat in 2 is just doing the same but on this oscillator, which is actually not playing anything. So let's have a listen to that one. And if you bring in throat in 1 as well. So just a more kind of full red-blooded kind of sound there, but I like it. I like it more like that. It's got an aggression to it that's kind of really cool. What else have we got? A bit of resonance here. Adds a little something to it, and then the cut-offs are changing. So, how are we getting this rhythm? Well, it isn't actually just in this. Like with the shapes that they have, which are there, you couldn't actually make that particular rhythm. And that's an important thing, because this is another technique, is if you use this LFO to control which side this is playing through, so this is coming down, sort of it comes down about halfway between these two and begins to play that one a little bit. And that's another way that you can get really interesting patterns out of this, so you're not actually, you're not restricting yourself to these things. You can change it by bringing it down to this one, have a completely different pattern on this one, or you can have an LFO going between the two, making kind of combinations of, in this case, that shape and nothing, but you could have another shape there that it combined with these. Do you see what I mean? So if I say, for example, put in, I don't know, a curve in here, then that would change the rhythm. You got a little sort of woof before that's like sort of staccato rhythm there. And that's kind of cool, you know. It's just a way of creatively getting more. I mean, if we pull that down, hasn't done a great deal, but you see what I mean. Combining the two together creates different kind of patterns and different rhythms, different levels as well. And so, yeah, you just notice that that's kind of set at the correct tempo for where we want it to change here. So you've got bum bum bum, and then it misses out that one, and bum bum. So that's kind of cool. Obviously we've got the pitch going up, you can hear that, and that's just really easily accomplished with the number 1 envelope, just pitching up 1 octave on all of the oscillators. I think that's about it, really.
Yeah.